Hello, guys. This is Elvis. I know this is different from what I've been doing in the past, where I've interviewed people to come and talk about their successes, just to introduce people and to expose people to what others are doing in different fields. So I woke up today and I just had this on my mind. So I'm like, you know what, let me just go ahead and talk about it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this often on this channel, but let's see how this goes. A wise man once said, inspiration is perishable, so act on it. So I wrote a few things down so I do not forget, but I want to talk about the first step to a high earning career, right? Usually, there are a lot of people who want to make six figures, whatever, even not even six figures. People want to make 70,000, 80,000. There are those who want to make 200,000, whatever the amount is. There's always a first step to that, whatever amount you want to earn. If you want to be a high earner, whatever that is to you, whatever a high earner is to you, there's one step people ignore a lot, and today I want to talk about it. When I mention it, it's going to be like, oh yeah, we know it, but that is simply the truth. I went to pick up my little cousin. One day we were going to Walmart. We were home, we were messing around a little bit, and we were both craving this cookie, and the only place we could find it was in Walmart. So we went to Walmart and we were looking for this cookie, and he's like, oh, I think it's going to be at the front. So we went to the front, we searched for it, we couldn't find it, and we asked one of the Walmart employees where we could find this cookie. She told us it's all the way in the back. So we go all the way in the back. It was on the last aisle. We went all the way to the back and found that cookie, and we were bringing it. And the first thing he said was, why did they put this cookie all the way at the back? He couldn't understand it. And I told him, the reason they did that, the reason they put the cookie all the way at the back is because they want you to go all the way to the back to find it. Why? That's because if you go there, the chances that you will see something that you did not come to buy and actually purchase it is very high. And the truth is, when we were going, he saw a few things that he wanted, and that is what they do. That is just marketing. That's if you were in college, marketing or psychology, they thought that sometime. I think in my first year or my second year. But basically, it's called exposure. That's all it is, right? They want to expose you to some things that maybe was not in your head at the time, but now you get exposed to it just because you walk down the aisle to go and purchase it. It's the same thing with flights. When you get on a flight, you will walk past the first class and go and sit wherever you paid your money to sit. Again, it's exposure. They want you to see the lifestyle of people living in first class. Just see it, and it does something to you. It makes you hungry to want to sit in first class. In terms of the Walmart, it makes you want to go buy other things that you did not even think of to want to buy. I think I heard Steve Harvey talking about, just one day get some money and buy a first class ticket. Once you know that feeling, you do not want to go back. Once you see that feeling of first class, you will want to come back there, and your mind will start thinking of ways to get you back there. I don't know if I will not advise you to go and buy a ticket for first class if you don't have it, but the principle stands. It is all about exposure. So exposure is the first step to a high earning career. If you're not exposed to it, there's no way you can earn it. It's that simple. If you're not exposed to it, you cannot earn it. For example, my female siblings, I'm born into a large family, and my female siblings are actually the smartest in the family when it comes to when it comes to intelligence. But for some reason, the men are making higher salary than they are, and they never really thought of a high salary, job. They don't care about those. It's none of their, it's not even their cup of tea. I would say they don't care about it. They are more family oriented. But once they started realizing how much their brothers are bringing in, their ears perked up, and all of a sudden, some of my sisters are like, "Oh, I'm looking for a new job. I'm doing this. I'm doing." I'm like, "Why are you looking for a new job?" She's like, "I want to make 6 figures too." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know that was a goal for you," and it was not a goal for them. Genuinely, it was not a goal for them. But then they realized it is possible. If all my brothers are making that much and we are, smarter than they are, why can't we do the same? They became exposed to that. They got to understand that it is possible. It is in the realms of possibility. It's the same thing with a female friend I have. She's a flight attendant, and she's known me for a while. She's known that, oh, okay, yeah, Elvis is a high earner, but it never really moved her, right? She probably thought, okay, I mean, maybe you are special, maybe you're doing something other people are not doing. You're working hard, you are learning 24/7, you are super smart or something. So she never really took interest in that until she started dating again. She got into the dating pool, started dating again, and all the guys she started to meet and date were all high earners, making a lot of money. So she started paying attention, like, what do you guys do? What do you do? And fortunately for her, most of the guys were in tech, were doing something in tech. So then she comes back to me and she's like, all the guys I'm talking to are making this and that much. Is it possible for me to do it as well? I'm like, yes, it is possible. And then all of a sudden, now what she makes is not enough for her again, because now she knows it is possible. She knows Elvis was not special. Elvis was not super smart or anything. But I'm talking to other guys, and other guys are bringing in that same amount of money, if not more, right? And now she started to look into different avenues to increase her salary. This goes to show you how much exposure is important, how it is important to your overall goal. If nobody has exposed you to it, you cannot achieve it. You cannot dream of something that you have no idea about. People talk about rich people and they want to say you are rich because, sorry, I think somebody's calling me. Okay. People want to talk about rich people, rich kids, and talk about, look, you are lucky because your dad left you with all this money, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them that their biggest gift was not the money. Their biggest gift from their parents, it's the exposure. The belief that they can make money any day, anytime, wherever you put them, because they've been exposed to something else. I was reading this book by a tech philosopher, and he was talking about, look, in 100 parallel universes, he believes he will become rich in 99 of them. Why? Because he has been exposed to the ways of making money. He knows how it is made. It is simple, and that is how it is for rich folks. It's not their best asset. It's not the fact that their dad left them a fortune. It's exposure, knowing how to go about making money, knowing where to go, knowing how to talk and stuff like that. So exposure is extremely important. I might make another video talking about how to expose yourself to high earning careers, especially if you don't know where to start. I might make another video depending on the reaction I get on this video. But I'll say this: the internet is a great equalizer. The internet has become a great equalizer. Now you don't necessarily have to have people who are high earners in your physical circle, right? They don't have to come from your family or your immediate friends. From the internet, you can find that exposure you need. It all starts from exposure. If you do not expose yourself to it, you cannot make it happen for yourself. What else did I have written down? I think this is getting a little bit too long. I didn't mean to take it this long. But I'll just leave it here. I will cut it short. I remember sometime, maybe one more story. Sometime, when my eldest brother used to work at Facebook, I visited California, and I went to the Facebook campus. Like, I got there and I was so impressed by the campus. I mean, it's the best work campus I've seen in my life. I mean, it's one of the best campuses you ever see. And I went there and I saw the people working there. There was a hunger that was stirred in me. I'm like, you know what? I need to make friends like these, like friends that are, want to make money, friends that want to achieve something big in their careers. And like that environment kind of was feeding it, because I entered into an environment where it's all high earning individuals. And that experience, it stayed with me for a very, very, very long time. And that is something we need. If you want to become successful, you need that kind of experience. You need exposure. And right now, like I said, you can get it on the internet. In another video, I might talk about how to expose yourself to these things. So let me put a quick disclaimer before I end this. The thing about exposure is, once you expose yourself to something and you see it is possible, it is paramount that you follow through on it. You follow through on the possibilities if you want it, and you go and do it. Because if you are exposed to something and you begin to desire it, but you do not follow through on that desire, there's something that comes up, something else that creeps up. Resentment, jealousy, and envy. You start to resent people who have done it because you haven't put in the work or that you need to put in. You start to be envious of those who have done it, and you just become jealous, and you just start to pollute your own brain, and you become you become worse than you actually were. So if you do not want something, do not expose yourself to it. Once you expose yourself to it, make sure you take action to getting it done. Okay. If this video gets a little bit more views on it, and it becomes something that I believe people want to see, I will make some of these videos, just keep it short and talk about some of the things that I've seen in my career and amongst my friends as well. Okay, that's it for today.